today. From First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio, it's a special New Year's Day edition of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns taking on Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals.
We come at you from the shores of Lake Erie. EA Sports has the coverage of the NFL from First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Cincinnati Bengals. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
McPherson has this one teed up, and off we go from Cleveland. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Cleveland offense, and here's Baker Mayfield, former Heisman Trophy winner, ready to go at quarterback.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass. That's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
First carry for Nick Chubb. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game. So what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming. From the gun, Mayfield over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line. A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. 19 carries, 114 yards.
They've got a nice scheme going right now, and they run the football pretty well. In fact, I was talking with him on the field before the game, and he said he's starting to hear from the guys ahead of him on the rushing yardage total, and they want to know if he's going to jump up there and join them at the top of the list.
Mayfield on 3rd and 2. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. DJ Reader. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. And this is going to wind up left. Well struck, but it's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game. The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, his team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, you're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
The numbers for Mixon last week, 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power, we saw finesse, we saw speed, and what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Andrew Billings, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. And this Browns defense coming to life. They get him behind the line for a second straight play. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he'll be stopped short of the first down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on 3rd and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good size run.
A really good run. But how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on 4th down. Do you really have a play you believe in? Or are you just hopeful? And you've got to sell it to the big man before it gets called.
Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
We're scoreless after 1. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. It's Mixon on the counter. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. Now it's Burrow. That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Jamar Chase with another touchdown, number 24 on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Now Jones. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Well, these two teams, they met up way back in the season opener, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Now Chubb on first down, able to work his way forward for about 5.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage. This is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
First down, Mayfield. And finding the tight end, Hooper. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
From just shy of midfield, Mayfield. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Trey Hendrickson has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Mayfield in this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. Mayfield down. Swings this out for Hunt. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves him just short for 4th down. The Browns send out their punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Joe Mixon and the Bengal offense ready to go back to work. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. That's caught by his tight end, Uzomah. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. So, Charles, you know, for this offense, we've been talking all year about how difficult it would be to run the table. And you gave me your chances early in the year. You thought maybe 25%. A few weeks ago, you thought closer to 50, but not quite 50. Now, here they are, 15-0. This is happening, isn't it?
I think it is, Brandon, because I do believe this team is too invested, too well coached to fall asleep at the switch now. And I think it ultimately benefits them to stay engaged all the way through the season, because make it to the finish line, then they get the open week to refresh and re-energize. But if you get off the gas now, that can really hurt you come playoff time.
Two minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Mixon will try the right side. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5. On 3rd down, Mixon. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 62 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. And now they will throw it with Burrow. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with the referee. So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. If you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag.
And the Bengals are going to have a 1st and goal as some good running there gets them down to about the 2-yard line. Knock it on the door.
Here we go.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Open man is Higgins, and he's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. T. Higgins hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And it's now 14-0. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Browns offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
Here's 2nd and a yard. To throw, Mayfield. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. He'll get this one underneath to Hunt. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Working with 2nd and 5 now. Here's Mayfield. That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 37. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. And it's the Ravens out in front as that game moves towards halftime. Lamar Jackson has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, we move to H-Town to check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Lions. Brandon Cooks, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's get to Pittsburgh. Check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Tampa Bay Bucks. Mitchell Trubisky has thrown a touchdown pass there. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. To return it, Darius Phillips. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at their own 27. He'll hand it off here. This is Mixon. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. These 2 teams met in Cincinnati earlier in the year with the Bengals coming out on top. So they'll be looking for the win here in Cleveland to complete the season sweep. From the 29, Burrow. Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. They run for it with Mixon. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
4th and 2 in the NFL, not ordinarily a running down anymore. Usually that ball's moved through the air. They went ahead and gave it to the back, and he ends up picking up the first down. I'm not sure if they fooled him as much as they just did a nice job executing.
Needed 2, and they got 3. And the linebacker, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, on the tackle.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 41-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
93 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Play action. It's Burrow. Able to find Higgins. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 18. Here we go. Mixon with a first down carry. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Mixon, an 18-yard touchdown run. And the Bengals take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And it's now 21-0. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. Now Mayfield. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Mayfield gives this one to Hunt. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Third and short yardage. Mayfield. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. The Browns send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Taken from just outside the 30. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Joe Burrow trots out again with the rest of his offense. The lead is theirs here in the third quarter, but it's really been the ground game that's been the recipe for success.
You mean the spotlight isn't shining as brightly on the guy throwing it?
No, it's the man behind him that's had a heck of a game.
And that's really okay. That's actually what you're looking for. I mean, your pride tells you, hey, I want to be responsible. I want to throw a bunch of touchdown passes. But when you're able to run the football, typically speaking, your team's doing pretty well. And in this case, they're winning.
We'll see if they have balance on this drive. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. They'll give it to Mixon. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. McPherson on for the point after. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Hardly any time taken off the clock there. 2 plays, and they find the end zone for 6 points. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And this will come out to the 25 as Jones elects for the touchback. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 45 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Mayfield now from the 50. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. DJ Reader in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Throwing, Mayfield. He's got Hooper on the short connection, and this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. The Browns on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 17. Mayfield looks to throw. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Desperation time. Mayfield on 4th down. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. They'll run on 1st down. Mixon, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Again, it's Mixon. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out. Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense.
The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. You can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd run, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure. Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 5 yards will get them back to the original line of scrimmage, but now they're looking at 3rd and 10. Burrow looking to pass. And it's caught. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
On that 3rd down call, the goal was to get the ball to their tight end and pick up a 1st down, but he wasn't satisfied with just that. They got the 1st down. That was the gravy. He decided to take in the whole meal and rumbled in for a touchdown.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes this 35-0 now. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Now Jones. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Now Mayfield lost the football, and the Bengals grab it. And his guys will take over at the 14-yard line in the red zone. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Now Jones. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one. This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for them, and after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
On 2nd and 10. Mayfield gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Looking for the out route, it's completed to Landry. And he goes out right around the 39. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Mayfield. Caught left side. It's Beckham. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Mayfield to throw it. That's complete to Peoples-Jones. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Mayfield on 1st down. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Throwing on 2nd and long. Mayfield. He's going to let it fly. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete. The Browns send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. go ahead and field this at the 5. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop, a man down on the return. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. Now Joe Mixon. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. Now a second down and 6. That one looks like he'll throw here. They'll roll him out right. That is caught. It's Uzomah. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. He'll buy some time right. Throw right side, pulled in by Higgins. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Cincinnati, they're a win away now from running the table here in the regular season. They moved to 16-0 on the year. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.